Plenty of power in Brisbane, Australia. Prime Minister Stephen Harper among world leaders, but Stephen Harper with a tense exchange with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the G20 summit in Australia. This exchange happened reportedly during a private leaders retreat this morning. According to Harper's spokesperson, the Russian president approached Harper and extended his hand. The prime minister is quoted as saying, "I guess I'll shake your hand," but then he added, "You need to get out of Ukraine." Putin reportedly responded, "That's impossible because we're not there." While the summit is meant to focus on economic issues, Russia's actions in Ukraine are overshadowing the proceedings that we're going to talk now about with CTV's Richard Madden, who's been traveling with the Prime Minister, joins us now from Brisbane. Richard, what more can you tell us about the Prime Minister's encounter with President Putin?
Well, it was a terse exchange, and it really underscores the tension that's happening behind closed doors and actually that's bubbling up into the surface and involving Russia and Russian President Vladimir Putin. And Harper isn't the first leader to publicly criticize Vladimir Putin, although this was quite unusual that it would get out this way, not only confirmed by the Kremlin and the Russian Federation, but of course leaked by the Prime Minister's office earlier today here in Australia. We heard criticism from Australia's Prime Minister Tony Abbott, the host of this summit. We heard concerns from the European Council, and then we also heard U.S. President Barack Obama slam Vladimir Putin in a speech to students at a nearby university, saying that isolating Putin with sanctions is the right thing to do. So obviously, the whole point of this G20 summit was to come up with ways to improve the global economy, but the tensions in Ukraine, along with Russia, continues to dominate the talks here.
We got a sense of the Russian leader's one response to our Prime Minister saying it's impossible for us to leave Ukraine if we're not there. What else is he saying, if anything?
Well, we did speak to the Russian Federation, the people that were traveling with in Vladimir Putin's entourage. They did say that they were surprised that this actually happened. They wouldn't get into any details. It's actually unusual for the Russian Federation to meet with journalists from another country, but they did feel that they had to respond to this, and they did confirm it. So it puts, obviously, it casts a chill on an otherwise summit that's supposed to be an optimistic and a united front to improve the global economy and boost trade. But definitely Vladimir Putin was the focus of this summit, and it didn't help Putin's cause that even before he came here, he caused international controversy by sending 4 Russian Navy ships to be circling around the coast of the northeast coast of Australia. The Prime Minister of Australia, Tony Abbott, said that, this is a Soviet-era bullying tactic, and Abbott doesn't mince words here, and obviously it set a tone for the rest of this summit.
So with all that drama happening around the summit, actually what's going on inside? What's on the menu, the agenda this weekend, and what's expected to take precedence?
Well, the focus is the economy. Tony Abbott has been making that very clear, that he doesn't want the focus of the summit to get sidetracked with international issues. But you have 20 world leaders from 20 different countries with 20 different agendas, whether it is Ukraine and Russia, whether it's Iraq, whether it's Syria, whether it's Ebola. All these issues have competing interests. But the focus, as I said earlier, is to boost the economy. World leaders are hoping to boost global growth output by 2% within 4 years. It's easier said than done for many countries. It's easy to do in Canada, easy accomplishment in the U.S. and Australia and developed nations. But for other countries still emerging, it's going to be a little bit tough. And even talking about this continues to get sidetracked with the issues like Russian President Vladimir Putin's tactics that continue to attract the attention. So the summit wraps up here tomorrow. It's unclear at this point if the world leaders will agree on anything other than to express concern for various issues. So, the G20 is at a bit of a crossroads. It really was in its heyday after the financial crisis in 2008. That's when all the leaders of the G20 countries agreed on restarting the economy by pumping out billions of dollars in stimulus, which seems to have worked and averted 1930-style depression. But now that the global economy is somewhat stable, it's still a little bit uncertain, but is definitely not anywhere near those levels as 2008. Some people are questioning the G20's relevance, and these issues that are competing here at the summit definitely add credence to that argument. So that's why it's so important for these leaders to come out united with an economic agenda that all leaders can sign off on. So it'll be very interesting tomorrow.
Indeed it will, Richard. CTV's Richard Madden traveling.